for years,
They were at the same time part of a national dialogue.
But you knew the weapons were being built up.
The weapons were there.
What did you think they were for?
The state in Lebanon is weak enough to not be able to do anything about it. They were trying to address this through a dialogue, through a national political dialogue that looked as if it was going well, as if it was going somewhere. And then suddenly, there was some secretive planning, there was some planning with absolutely no consultation with anyone, and we were found in this situation.
But did they renounce their core belief that Israel had to be liquidated? They never did they? They kept building up their weapons. You knew that the weapons were not for decoration. The weapons would one day be used. You had to know this.
Absolutely.
And you and the rest of Lebanon acquiesced in it.
The dream was these weapons could be put into a defense strategy for the good of Lebanon.
But it's a bit late to cry about Hezbollah actions now. Where were the anti-Hezbollah demonstrations in Lebanon? There weren't any, were there? Where were the protests about the buildup of weapons? There weren't any.
It is not an anti-Hezbollah demonstration. There were efforts to bring in Hezbollah as a full political actor. It is a legitimate political actor, but its military wing has been into question, has been on the table as something to be discussed, as something to be negotiated. And it seemed like negotiations were serious over this. But then suddenly, this has happened, has really destroyed any trust that has been built so far with the party, with Hezbollah, between the government and the party.
Oussama, Safa, thank you very much indeed. Now let me please call on Mona Makram-Ebeid to speak against the motion.
I am certainly against this motion for the following reasons. First of all, fighting a resistance war to liberate one's occupied land is legal according to international law. What Hezbollah has done is a reaction to decades of Israeli violations of human rights, of UN resolutions, and of assault and occupation. Hezbollah is not only an armed resistance movement, but it is also a political movement with 2 ministers in government, with the largest constituency in parliament, and it has a grassroots organization that nobody can rival today. It has informed the government at a ministerial meeting last year that it was serious about the prisoners' release. This was not it was not hidden from anywhere. It is not the first time that Israeli soldiers have been captured. Both Israel and Hezbollah had negotiations in the past, as recently as the year 2004. Hezbollah has been pressing the issue of Lebanese prisoners in Israeli jails, along with Lebanon's claim to the Israeli-occupied Sheba farms. Both these claims were supported by the Lebanese government. Furthermore, this is not only a Lebanese issue, but it is a regional issue. Hezbollah was not acting only on Lebanon's behalf, but its influence has grown to become a symbol of resistance and awakening in the Arab and Islamic world. Arab governments such as Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, which started to blame Hezbollah for creating the crisis that led to war, had to shift their position in the wake of public anger in their countries about the Israeli bombing. And even as it faces criticism in Lebanon, Hezbollah has gained millions of supporters in the Middle East. People in the region have compared its steadfastness with the swift defeat of 3 large Arab armies in the Six-Day War in 1967. Nasrallah has become a household name in my own country, Egypt, where Hezbollah's action garnered 75% approval in a recent public opinion survey. You can see the Washington Post of the 23rd of August for that.
Mona Makram-Ebeid, thank you very much. So being a household name is sufficient license to go to war, and then incidentally bungle it.
It did not bungle it. It came to a draw with Israel. It's the first time that an Arab force resists Israel's continued and sustained and institutionalized assault against civilian populations.
Well, we had Hassan
in the Arab
Nasrallah
world.
almost apologizing, didn't we, on
No,
August
he
the
was not
27th, saying,
apologizing.
if I had known that the operation... Could I finish this, please?
Yes,
Could
go
I?
ahead.
Thank you very much. If I had known that the operation to capture the soldiers would lead to this result, we would not have carried it out.
Absolutely.
So it was a huge miscalculation.
No,
on
it
his,
was
well,
not
he's
at
admitting
all,
a miscalculation.
No,
We got it wrong.
was not at all a miscalculation.
He's saying he got it wrong.
He wanted it a local attack. He wanted the release of Lebanese prisoners. He did not
He's saying he got it wrong, and now you want a
confrontation.
license. You want to give him a license to bungle at any time.
He didn't want an escalation of war. It is Israel who has escalated the war.
All right, Mona Makram-Ebeid, thank you very much indeed. Now let me call, please, on Hisham Kassem to speak for the motion.
Well, Oussama has just spoken about the Lebanese perspective. I'll try and speak about a regional perspective. To begin with, Mona Makram-Ebeid just said Hezbollah got 75% support in a poll that was carried out in Egypt. That is 25% decline from July 1st. Had you carried out that same poll on July 11th, you would have had 100% support for Hezbollah. We all had Hezbollah in mind as the liberator that did liberate the south of Lebanon. Now there's a debate, you see. So it really